Genesis new standalone dealerships leave Hyundai in the dust. Servicing our 2022 Genesis GV70 proves the luxury automaker is finally taking customers seriously. When Genesis first stated selling cars in the US 6 years ago, its plan was to make all transactions out of Hyundai dealerships. As expected, that didn't work out. Turns out people who are shelling out $80,000 on a G90 sedan don't like spending time with folks buying $18,000 Hyundai Accents. Under new leadership, spearheaded by CEO Jose Munoz, Genesis got back on track and made an ambitious plan to open over 100 standalone dealerships where customers would get treated properly. It took a couple of years and a lot of work for dealers to commit, but Genesis has already opened 5 standalone facilities, and it plans to open more than 50 dealerships in the coming months. Our long-term 2022 Genesis GV70 was serviced at Genesis Santa Monica, a brand new facility that showcases the brand's new dealership design. We witnessed the change from a temporary space to the new facility, and it felt like going from premium economy to first class. The design, atmosphere and service are top-notch. All Genesis GV70s come with complimentary service, valet and maintenance for 3 years or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first, which means you can arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at your house and serviced at no cost. The service advisor will bring you a loaner vehicle, so you have something to drive while your SUV is being serviced. Unfortunately, fleet cars such as ours are not part of this program, so we didn't get a chance to experience it. However, we visited the dealership 3 times for our GV70 scheduled maintenance and were pleased with our experience. Honorific guest. Genesis standalone dealerships are not only its own facilities, but they also have a completely new look and feel to them. Under the Korean philosophy of Sunnim, which means honor guest, the store is designed in a way to treat customers in a stress-free environment, with living room-style spaces where tea can be served while conversing about cars. There's a boundary between the living room space and the cars on display, something Genesis says was done on purpose. Customers can look at the cars on their own, and then they can sit with an advisor to discuss their thoughts and purchase options while waiting for our GV70 to be serviced. The new dealership had its own designated waiting room, separate from the spaces where transactions would take place. Refreshments such as tea, coffee and sparkling water were available, and Wi-Fi was easy to connect to. What's the difference between Genesis Studio and Genesis House? To grow its brand awareness, Genesis has opened different spots in cities where foot traffic is high. In New York City, for instance, the automaker has Genesis Studio and Genesis House. Genesis Studio is a facility inside Manhattan's Hudson Yards Mall where vehicles are on display and customers can arrange a test drive and be put in touch with a dealership. Think of it like a Tesla store. Genesis House, on the other hand, is a 3-story space in the heart of Manhattan's meatpacking district that's home to an upscale Korean restaurant, tea pavilion, showroom, and an event space. With its Korean design, penned by Seoul-based architecture firm Soo Architects, Genesis House is open to the public and customers can wander around the showroom. Unlike Genesis Studio, you can't book a test drive in Genesis House, as this stress-free environment is meant to show Genesis products and increase brand awareness. The restaurant, curated by Onjeom, a Michelin-starred restaurant in Seoul, brings traditional Korean cuisine with the finest local and imported ingredients.